Discovery, roger. Go for deploy.
For all of us to get together, nobody realizes that everything that we throw on the ground does end up in the ocean, whether from the rain or ends up in the streams. It not only affects our ecosystem, but it affects us.
It's very important to keep our oceans clean. As a matter of fact, the ferry ride over here, I saw some trash, mainly like the Mylar balloons. So you can imagine what isn't floating in the water, that's underneath the water, that's, interfering with wildlife.
If there's no junk on the bottom of the ocean, then it's clean. The fish are all going to be happy, and we're all going to be happy, and we got to go blow bubbles.
The spread seems, when it gets to the site, seems to go through really, really fast. There were hundreds of thousands of sea stars, intertidal and subtidal. I mean, the scope of an effort that it would take to even if we could figure out how to immunize them or something, just is, mind-boggling. All the sea star species seem to be affected, even though it's, different species in British Columbia compared to the species we have up here, and it's in the subtidal and it's in the intertidal. And so it makes it much harder actually to kind of track down. So again, like if it was temperature, you might expect that in the intertidal, maybe they would be more affected because it gets warmer in the intertidal when it's exposed. But we don't see that. We see it just across sea stars in general. So whatever it is seems to have, not be as specific as the diseases that have affected the sea stars in the past.
This property has been a real problem and a challenge to the city because it's cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars in police and fire responses over the last several years. We started a process of trying to get a receiver in here over a year and a half ago, but because of 12 owners not agreeing and so forth, it's taken us that long to finally get the receiver in here.
So today is my first initial inspection. I brought along with me the security team. They have started their patrol services effective now. I have a contractor with me who's also walking the site to get a sense of the existing conditions of the property, as well as putting together our plan for additional security measures.
Our little girl here, she has a syndrome known as polydactyly. That just means she has too many digits. In her case, she has an extra digit on each hand and on each foot. There is a problem associated with that, is that this is an abnormality that is clearly visible, particularly on the hands. And as a result, kids tend to be a little bit cruel when they're growing up, and this puts her at a disadvantage because then they tend to be made fun of, and it sort of pushes them to the side of society a bit.
Hello everybody, welcome to Geek Impulse. I am Joshua Sexton here, coming to you live from Anime Expo 2018. We're gonna rock around the convention, look at all the cosplayers, look at the events, look at what's going on, so we can bring you some of the best content here at Geek Impulse. Thank you so much. Hey Geek Impulse fam, this is Joshua Sexton here. I am super excited to bring to you today somebody who is very much an expert when it comes to anime, and super excited the fact that he was able to sit down with us today during the Anime Expo. We have Jeff from Mother's Basement.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you, Joshua. I don't know if I'd say expert, luminary, genius.
You're too kind. You're too kind. So for the Geek Impulse fam, a lot of us do know who you are, but for those that might not be completely familiar, right? Why don't you give us a little bit of tidbits about who you are? What is Mother's Basement?
Well, Mother's Basement is a name that I picked for my channel based on the idea of I wanted to create like a place for classy discussions of unclassy, geek-oriented material.
The most rewarding thing is like see the magic, the magic of creation, and depends how you feel that day. It's really amazing what happens to my artwork. If I feel, let's say, frustrated that day, right, it transferred to the glass. You'll see it in my work. And if I feel really happy, you'll see that happiness in my work. But being emotional, I think it transfers. It shows in the work. So if I don't feel good that day, it also looks in the work. You know, it's not that great. But if you're having a good day, it shows in your work.
You want to comment?
And we're spending
if you have
a
a
lot of
question
money.
of the witness, it's
His, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to his comment, is what I'm going to do.
I think he's already had his. Help me out here, sir.
No, because what you've done is, wait a minute, you wait a
You've
minute.
been talking, just let me check with the city. Let me talk to the city attorney.
Don't point your finger at me.
Just be quiet for a
Put it in your
minute.
pocket.
Just be quiet till I get an opinion from the city attorney. Go ahead, sir.
The procedures provide that members of the public can comment. After all members of the public can comment, the council can discuss.
Okay.
I would suggest you continue with any other public comment.
Thank you. Do you have anything else to say, sir?
I have no further comments and
Thank you.
continue to want to provide business and jobs for this community.
Open it up to put the rest of the public comment now.
Roger, we'll stop Discovery. Welcome back. A great ending to the new beginning.